From Nashville Public Radio, I'm Blake Farmer, and this is Curious Nashville. You heard right. Curious Nashville. This is a wildly popular series we're bringing back to the radio, where WPLN's newsroom answers your questions about the things that get you wondering. It's more than just stories about roadside oddities or the origins of our strange pronunciations. And we're back with some of the greatest hits and a call to action for you to ask your questions after the news. This is Curious Nashville.
Sharing news and stories from the voices of Middle Tennessee. That's This Is Nashville. Our show is made possible by Music City Prep Clinic. This Is Nashville is in service to you. So if you have an idea for the show or feedback you'd like us to hear, leave us a voice message at 615-751-2500.
Live from NPR News, I'm Lakshmi Singh. President Trump is on his way back to Washington, D.C. after a high-stakes meeting with Chinese leader Xi Jinping. The president spoke with reporters afterward and said he rated the meeting with Xi a 12 out of 10. Here's NPR's Deepa Shivaram.
Trump says he and Xi came to an agreement on a trade deal, but it hasn't been finalized just yet.
It was an outstanding group of decisions, I think, that was made. A lot of decisions were made, too. There wasn't too much left out there.
The U.S. will lower tariffs on China from 57% to 47% because of Xi's commitment to reduce the flow of fentanyl, Trump says. China will also start repurchasing soybeans from the U.S. and stop the recent limit on rare earths exports that was announced a few weeks ago. Trump says he will visit China next April, and Xi will come to the U.S. after that. Deepa Shivaram, NPR News, Gyeongju, Korea.
Hurricane Melissa is approaching Bermuda as a Category 2 hurricane after tearing through Hispaniola, Jamaica, Cuba, and the Bahamas. As one of the region's most powerful storms in the past 100 years, the storm has claimed at least 30 lives. Tens of thousands of people have been displaced. A majority of the fatalities are reported in Haiti. NPR's Rebecca Hersher reports that according to a rapid scientific analysis, climate change made such a disaster about 4 times more likely.
Scientists at Imperial College in the United Kingdom study the role of climate change in individual weather events, like heat waves and hurricanes. To study Hurricane Melissa, they used computer models to compare what actually happened to what would have happened if the planet was the temperature it used to be back in the 1950s. Their findings indicate climate change made it 4 times more likely a Category 5 storm would make landfall in Jamaica. In other words, this disaster would have been much less likely without global warming. Rebecca Hersher, NPR News.
A Senate confirmation hearing on President Trump's nominee for Surgeon General is on hold. NPR's Will Stone reports Dr. Casey Means is having a baby.
The Senate hearing was delayed because Casey Means went into labor. The hearing was already scheduled to happen virtually, so she didn't have to travel so late in her pregnancy. Means is currently in Hawaii. It's not clear now when the hearing will be rescheduled. Means is an ally of Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., but many in public health and medicine argue she's not qualified for the job. While she did go to Stanford Medical School, she never completed her training to become a surgeon. She gained popularity over the past year after publishing a book on diet and metabolic health and going on prominent podcasts, and her brother has been a close advisor to Secretary Kennedy. Will Stone, NPR News.
This is NPR News. The British Parliament is taking rare action against a member of the royal family. In London, NPR's Lauren Fair reports on the ongoing fallout of Prince Andrew's controversial friendship with the financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, 6 years after Epstein's apparent death by suicide in a New York City jail.
Parliament's spending watchdog is asking the UK Treasury and the Crown Estate, which manages property owned by the royals, to explain why Prince Andrew is still living rent-free in a 30-room royal lodge on the grounds of Windsor Castle. The watchdog is giving them till the end of November to explain how the prince's living arrangements are, quote, achieving the best value for money for UK taxpayers. This month, in a posthumous memoir, one of Jeffrey Epstein's accusers said she had sex with the prince, too, when she was 17. Andrew denies it. Then this week, photos emerged of Andrew hosting Epstein and convicted rapist and former movie producer Harvey Weinstein together at the prince's daughter's 18th birthday. Lauren Fryer, NPR News, London.
Andrew recently relinquished some of his royal titles and honors and stepped back from royal duties. The Paris prosecutor says authorities have captured 5 more suspects nearly 2 weeks after the historic jewel heist at the Louvre. The official tells local media investigators believe they now have 3 of the 4 people who allegedly broke into the museum and stole the jewels. The theft took place shortly after the museum opened and took only about a few minutes. The jewels were previously estimated to have a value equivalent to more than $100 million. The jewels have yet to be recovered. The Dow's up 135 points. It's NPR News.
Support for NPR comes from NPR stations. Other contributors include Progressive Insurance with its Name Your Price tool, a way to see coverage options based on a driver's budget. Learn more at progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Funding for This Is Nashville comes from you, our listeners. And David Lusk Gallery, presenting Red Grooms, Tennessee Foxtrot Carousel, original drawings, carvings, and new wall paintings, celebrating the carousel, October 30th through December 20th. More at davidluskgallery.com.
I'm Blake Farmer, and this is Curious Nashville. Yeah, Curious Nashville. Without Curious Nashville, we wouldn't know about an old fallout shelter used for the governor or the explanation for what purports to be a space capsule on the side of the road in Hickman County. We would have many street, school, and neighborhood names that still needed their origins uncovered, and most of us wouldn't know about the whereabouts of the custom carousel made by artist Red Grooms, which I guess there's more art coming from that, as we just heard. Thanks to Curious Nashville, though, we know this and much more. And we're back taking questions and delivering answers that are fun to hear and, frankly, fun for those of us reporting them. So, for a bit of a refresher and some updates to a few stories, we have Mr. Curious Nashville himself, WPLN News Director Tony Gonzalez. He's been here since the beginning, nearly 10 years ago. And no one is more excited for this moment than you.
I don't know if I've ever been called Mr. Curious Nashville
I
before,
came up with it this morning
hey.
when I wrote this, and it felt right, and I didn't run it by you. But if you'd like to watch today, we are streaming video, as we often are, at youtube.com/@WPLN. Get active in the chat there, because we'll be taking your questions later on this hour, but you can throw them in the chat right now at youtube.com/@WPLN. So, Tony, if you had to give somebody the Curious Nashville elevator pitch, what is it?
All right. Shortest version of the Curious Nashville elevator pitch is you ask, we answer.
All right. There's got to be more.
I can do a little extended version. That it is that simple, but basically anybody can ask us a question. If the question is interesting enough, we will assign a reporter to go out and find the answer. So often people do have, like you said, questions about local history, place names. People also wonder just like how things work, like in local government, like the Metro Schools lottery or, the budgeting process, stuff like that. And then, of course, probably my favorite bucket of questions, like what's that weird thing on the side of the road?
Oh, we love weird thing questions.
Can you figure out what that is or why it's there? So those are the buckets. So if the question is interesting enough and tricky enough to warrant a professional journalist.
A total pro.
Then we'll put someone in motion to try to find that answer.
All right. So over the years, we've gone to a lot of places with these questions. Talk about the mindset that kind of drives Curious Nashville.
Sure. So we are trying to answer the question, admittedly, but we're not trying to just answer the question. We're trying to show how we found the answer, what kind of reporting, what sort of research goes into it. So that makes it very different than a typical news story, right? A typical news story, you're just hearing like, here's what's going on, here's the budget, here's what happened today, here's what happened lately. This one, we're trying to kind of go on a journey. So it really is a little bit of a different mindset. We're trying to show how you might go about figuring out an answer. The other thing that kind of sets it apart then is, I could assign a reporter on a given day like, hey, go find out what the mayor is saying today about such and such. You kind of know, okay, I got to go here. I'm going to get this. I'm going to put it on the radio. For these, sometimes you really don't even know where to start. Like, who do I even ask? Is there a book I can read? Is there some old article I can go find? So often on a Curious Nashville, the reporter truly is stumped at the beginning. We love that. And the last thing I'd mentioned that makes Curious Nashville a little different is if the reporter finds something weird along the way, they're encouraged to go down the rabbit hole, to take the tangent. So it's not just like, I mean, if it was just we could answer this question and tell you the answer in 30 seconds, why bother?
We'll do it in 30 seconds.
Right.
Yeah,
So
not 30 minutes.
Let's do it in let's really bask in it and let's learn something as we go.
All right, well, let's bask in a couple things. Curious Nashville's answered more than 100 questions over the years. Here's an excerpt from a story that Mariana Bacallao did that explains the peculiar pronunciations behind some local places and landmarks like Lafayette, Sevier, Lebanon.
If you're new to Nashville and no one's told you yet, let me be the first. That street isn't pronounced how you think.
Demon Bruin.
Lemon Bruin. Demon Brow.
Damon Bruin.
Demon. What's that, Brown? Demon Bruin. I got nothing.
It's Demumbrian. But if you were standing on Demumbrian Street 300 years ago, you might hear that name pronounced.
Dumourbrin.
One more time.
Dumourbrin.
Okay, that was a hard one. Let's try something easier.
So maybe you're learning something for the first time right now. It's Demumbrian. And Mariana tackles several other place names, too.
But we can't blame the French for all of Middle Tennessee's odd pronunciations.
In my early 20s, I was doing the show in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
No.
Murfreesboro. I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Okay,
I'm not mispronouncing it.
That's comedian John Mulaney mispronouncing Murfreesboro on Late Night with Jimmy Fallon.
I think it was named by a dying Confederate general as he barely sat up in bed eating mashed potatoes. And his grandson was like, "Pappy, you gotta name the town." And he was like, Murfreesboro. They're like, "Put it on the sign."
So he's wrong on several counts. The name comes from a war captain who battled the British and dedicated the city to his dear friend, Colonel Hardy Murphy.
And since spelling matters, it's Murphy with an F, not a PH. I don't know about you. We need to hear from the Murfreesboro. Oh, my goodness. What do you call Murfreesboroans? But that we should know that answer. But if
what
you
a
ask,
perfect example of a story that is, right?
You're right.
We had a lot of people ask us, how do you say this, or why do we say it this way? And Mariana just picking them up, knocking them down.
Well, but if you ask, if you do voice to text, a lot of times it spells Murfreesboro with a PH instead of an F. I don't know why that is, but I always feel like I have to correct it. You know how there's some things that if you do voice to text, you're like, okay, I can't hit send on this. I must correct this. If you're just tuning in, I'm Blake Farmer. This is Nashville, but it's kind of this Curious Nashville episode because you're going to be hearing more Curious Nashville on this very show, which is what we're talking about, and we're with Mr. Curious Nashville, Tony Gonzalez. So some stories kind of end up going viral locally, or they become what we in the news business call talkers. But stories of people, they still bring up years later. So, Tony, what do you think of as some of those the greatest hits?
Yes. I mean, when you really strike gold on Curious Nashville, people literally talk about it years later. I mean, I still have people asking me about, are there tunnels beneath downtown Nashville? That is one of the stories that
a little more relevant right now with the Music City Loop coming.
We had a little bit of history there to share. That's true. A couple others that come to mind. You already mentioned one of them, the Red Grooms Carousel, this ornate carousel that used to be in Nashville. Someone wondered whatever happened to it. Where did it go? We were able to locate it.
Well, it's come up several times when the mayor is on. People will ask, what are we going to do about that?
At one point, Curious Nashville found that it was in sort of mothballed in a state warehouse. Got to visit the undisclosed location. That was a story that people have been talking about for years. We still have a lot of folks visiting our podcast episode about the revolving restaurant that used to be downtown on top of the Sheridan.
Is this still revolving?
It does not revolve anymore.
But I think it's
Spoiler alert. You can still get up into it.
Yes.
Does not revolve anymore.
I hate to brag right here on the radio, but I did eat in that when I was in high school while it was revolving.
Well, and when we were doing that reporting, we had so many people come out of the woodwork.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who had special occasions up there and dates and that sort of thing. So we definitely try to share some of those stories. The other one that's near and dear to my heart, the peace sign, the gigantic peace sign in the forest at Nashville Airport. So if you're flying in or out of the airport in the right direction to a particular runway, there is a huge peace sign in the forest that is visible from above.
Is it still?
It is still there. If you look at a satellite view kind of down Murfreesboro Pike, that end of the airport, you can still see it in the woods, which I actually do not know the exact, I can't say this for sure, but somebody still must be mowing the pattern. Because what it is that the bushes and trees have grown up over, at this point, more than 14 or 18 years or something like that. So someone keeps mowing the peace sign so that it is still visible.
And it was just a guy who does the groundskeeping there who
There's
thought it was a cool idea, right?
Who put in just methodical mowing for many years.
Playing the long game.
Yes, the long game.
I mean, how interesting. Well, one of the beautiful things with Curious Nashville is that it shows there are these stories that are all around us. And we'll get asked about things that people see every day and then just don't think about it until I think, oh, yeah, I actually don't know where that came from. Do you have a favorite example of that?
Sure. I'll mention at least two. One of them, if you're in Green Hills, by the Green Hills Mall and Hillsborough High School, the high school there, really cool architecture and has this interesting clock on the outside. And we had an employee who works at the mall who his view, I guess, out of his office was this clock. And he was sort of like, what's up with this clock? What's the story of this clock? Yeah. So that's something where, and of course, there's the transit center right there now, too. And there's just a lot of people that go by it.
Yep.
So you realize there is quite a story behind that clock. It was actually a senior class gift to the school in the 1950s in honor of a student who had passed away as at an early age. So that one comes to mind. We also did, in the early days of Curious Nashville, we did a story about the Golden Domed Bank on Charlotte Pike. It's got the geodesic dome, and there was a question about sort of the history of that. So some of those, just any building, anything you see around you could become a Curious Nashville. It could be a question about the architecture, the history, the name, any of those sorts of things. Those are just ripe for a reporter to kind of get their hands on it,
Well, and someone asked us about the LNC Tower sometime downtown, and I don't think that I knew that the color used to change.
Right. So LNC Tower, I think, is sort of most famously known for being like the first skyscraper in the city. And if you look at the old photos,
the first in the southeast, maybe.
Right. If you look at the photos, it was like the city was a certain number of floors tall, and then the LNC Tower was...
You don't even see the LNC Tower from most angles these days,
But at the top there used to be like a lighting system that would convey the weather report. So if you kind of knew what the coding was, you could kind of know at a quick glance the weather. And we had someone ask us about that. And for that particular story, our reporter did find sort of the son of the sign maker who had installed the thing all those years ago. So yeah, those stories really are... They're kind of all around us, kind of staring us in the face.
All right. Well, we're going to be taking questions coming up later in the hour, live on the air here. But just to help you understand, this is going to be something you're going to hear monthly on This Is Nashville. We're going to have an episode that's got a lot of reporting that's in it. We'll also have folks live on the air, and we will be taking your questions live on the air, which we think is going to be a really nice addition. So maybe this has got your wheels turning about landmarks or oddities that you're curious about. We're going to be taking those questions live on the air, so get ready here. Or you can leave your question in the chat on the YouTube video stream. That's at youtube.com/@WPLN. Coming up after this quick break, we're going to ask, where are they now to some of these stories? Stay with us. This is Curious Nashville.
I love how WPLN is helping me discover Nashville and honestly the greater Tennessee area. I'm a transplant from a smaller town in Alabama. I actually stumbled upon the station and it's really helped me get to know Nashville and feel like a sense of community and belonging. I'm Anna and I'm a member of 90.3 WPLN News.
And this is Trisha Drake joining you right here with my dear friend and colleague, Rose Gilbert, one of our amazing reporters here at 90.3 WPLN News. How about the return of Curious Nashville? I am so excited about that. And as you just heard in that listener testimonial a moment ago, our friend who just moved here from Alabama, and how important it has been for her to root into this community by finding us here on 90.3. I think shows like Curious Nashville are such an amazing way for new transplants and for people to feel like they're a part of our community.
Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the beautiful things about local public radio. We tell you what's going on in your community, whether that's what's going down at the State House or what on earth is up with that pink elephant with the sunglasses on the side of the road, right? So for all your questions about Nashville, whether you're a longtime resident or new to town, we're a place where you can feel connected to the community and feel like you're part of something. And one way to feel like you're part of something and part of this community is by becoming a member of WPLN. You can go online to WPLN.org or give us a call at 615-760-2010 to make a gift or become a member to help sustain the service long into the future.
That's right, Rose. So everybody, you all need to know what's happening here. We are in day 2. Almost, what do we have, like maybe 20 hours left on this amazing fall fundraising sprint. We're trying to keep it short. We know you love our programming. We just want to come to you during our regular fall fundraising time and remind you that we are here for good, but we need your help to keep bringing you the stories, the emergency programming, the amazing music discovery, all of the things that you love about Nashville Public Radio, and show your support. You can do that by going to WPLN.org. And Rose, what about this amazing group of people that we've just had pop up on the screen? I mean, this is going crazy here.
Oh my gosh, I know. I'm seeing the names pop up. I'm going to have to scroll. I want to say, whenever a new name pops up on the board, I say thank you in real time as it comes off because I'm so grateful.
We both do.
But just looking at some of the people we've seen, we've got Christopher in Old Hickory who says he listens. We've got Harmon in Nashville, Tennessee who says, I enjoy WPLN and value it as a trusted news and entertainment source. We've got Emily in Centerville, Kim in Murfreesboro, Carol in Nashville, and so many more. Thank you, guys. You guys are what is making this programming possible.
We want to shout out everybody that has given so far today. And if you didn't hear your name on the board, if you didn't hear your time, your space, your city, now is your chance to give. You can go right now, WPLN.org, make your gift in any amount. Wait till you see the amazing thank you gifts we'll tell you about soon. But you can make your gift now in any amount, and we sure appreciate you. Thanks.
Absolutely. Like I said, I'm always so grateful when I see your name on the board. And there's also a more practical measure of showing our gratitude, in addition to the glowing hearts here in the studio. When you give, you have the option of selecting one of several wonderful thank you gifts. Maybe you want to go in at that $10 a month and get a Nashville Public Radio mug. This one's a brand new design.
I love it.
It's all part of our new theme, Here for Good. So if you want to get a fun new holder for your favorite fall beverage, hot cocoa, coffee, hot toddy, whatever, we don't judge, then you can go online to WPLN.org and select that gift then, or call us at 615-760-2010. But the only way to get these exclusive, wonderful gifts is to go online and make a gift or become a member now. We're counting on you. We only have less than a day left in this drive, and we're very grateful for you. Thank you.
Funding for This Is Nashville comes from you, our listeners, and Amazon, proud sponsor of WPLN's daily show, This Is Nashville, engaging our differences so we can discover our unity. More on Amazon's community work at aboutamazon.com. And the Frist Art Museum now presenting New African Masquerades, an exhibition exploring the energy, artistry, and innovation of 4 contemporary West African masquerade artists through January 4th. More at fristartmuseum.org. And Tennessee State Parks, with a variety of getaway accommodations, including cabins and lodges. Guests can experience the great outdoors without giving up modern amenities. Learn more at tnstateparks.com.
I'm Blake Farmer, and this is Curious Nashville. It's a project we're bringing back where the WPLN newsroom answers your questions, the questions that stump ChatGPT, why things are the way they are in Middle Tennessee. If all this talk has a question on the tip of your tongue, we'll be taking questions live on the air in about 10 minutes, so stay with us. You can also put it in the chat at our video stream if you're watching today. That's youtube.com/@WPLN. We've got some updates to some of the many stories we've done over nearly 10 years of Curious Nashville, and WPLN's news director Tony Gonzalez will walk us through. The very first question we ever answered was about those pithy sayings that TDOT, the Tennessee Department of Transportation, used to put up on interstate signs, and I don't even see those signs anymore. What happened?
Yeah, this is so 2016, I guess we did that story. Who writes those pithy signs? The answer was that there are various TDOT folks who used to kind of brainstorm these things. It sounded like there was kind of a little office culture of who could write the funniest one, and that
a lot
kind
of
thing.
word play.
Yeah, exactly. Rhymes about buckling up and that kind of stuff. Well, obviously the signs are still there, but what we've learned is that around 2021, there was some new federal guidance that basically said if the message isn't sort of essential and urgent and real applicable, you really shouldn't be putting it up on your signs. And then I think that guidance was reissued a couple of years later. The federal government has sort of been like, we need to rein it in on these interstate signs. So TDOT has done that. I will say, and I messaged with TDOT recently, last holiday season, late 2024, they did do a little contest for residents to write the signs one more time. They just made sure that whichever one actually they chose, or the ones they chose, fit within that federal guidance.
I see.
So they're not totally gone.
Yeah.
But they've been tamped down.
But they are not what they used to be. All right, so on kind of the other end of the spectrum, before Curious Nashville took a little bit of a break here, Metro reporter Cynthia Abrams did a story about a strange piece of land in downtown Nashville, the Chill Little Beach. Let's hear a clip from the original story that was in 2023.
The tiny plot is filled with sand and umbrellas and beach games, and it sits squarely at the intersection of 3 busy streets.
These cars are like the ocean. They ebb and flow, and there's movement and energy and people, and they're all looking at us, and we're having fun.
That's Mark Cleveland, the mastermind behind the Little Chill Beach.
My daughter said, "Hey, Dad, what do you want to do for Father's Day? We want to maybe take you golfing or something?" I said, "How about helping me build a pallet fence?"
In the span of 15 days, using recycled pallets found across East Nashville, Cleveland constructed what is now the beach, just in time for a 4th of July party in 2021.
Tony, I'm trying to situate listeners here. This is this little slice of land. I feel like I'm always driving there in the dark for some reason.
It's 4th and Lafayette.
Yeah.
To come back to the pronunciations.
Lafayette. Yes, Lafayette. So if you're...
There's kind of like, and there's actually a third road there too, so it's a little triangle.
It's the strangest little... I mean, it's kind of near that part of town people call Pie Town, right? Well, no, it's across Lafayette. Well, all right, tell me that the beach is not washed away.
I wish I could tell you that. There is no more sand on this plot.
Okay.
But for a while, there was this little beach, and it was kind of kitschy, and you could rent it out, and I know that music videos were filmed there, and there were some parties and that kind of thing. There's no more sand there. And the beach is, once again, and kind of always has been, for sale. There have been ideas over the years for how you might build a skinny, triangular skyscraper there. We have been messaging with the property owner who you heard in that story, and he's got some ideas brewing. He's not ready to share them yet, but he has talked about some kind of art installation, which arguably the beach was that as well. He's talked about some conceptual building ideas. So I still think that if you have a strange triangle, the opportunity is there to build something on it.
Wait, so is it up for sale, or it still is on the market?
Well, there are for sale signs. I mean, if you go by there right now, it is for sale.
Did I see the price is like $2 million?
I think it's something over 2 million, yes.
All right. Well, there you go on land values in downtown Nashville. If you're just joining us, I'm Blake Farmer. This is Curious Nashville, and we're joined by the host of Curious Nashville, Tony Gonzalez. We're going to start taking your questions momentarily. I mean, not momentarily, in a few minutes. So to join us on air to ask your Curious Nashville question, call us at 615-760-2000. You can also leave a question for Curious Nashville online at WPLN.org/curious. Or if you're watching right now, our video from the studio, you can drop it in the chat at youtube.com/@WPLN. Tony, can we do a lightning round?
Love a lightning
All
round.
right, this is like a lightning round on where are they now to stories. So in 2018, we featured the story of the big pink elephant at a car dealership on Charlotte Avenue. Where is that big pink elephant?
Where is it now? Okay, so first off, let me give some credit where credit is due. And I will say, as you've mentioned, Curious Nashville took a little hiatus. But once we put these Curious Nashville stories out into the world, other people talk about them. And in this case, Channel 2, News 2, WKRN, they recently did a story about the big pink elephant. I got a little jealous when I saw it, but I can tell you, citing their reporting, that the big pink elephant has a new home. It's no longer at the dealership. It was taken away. It got a little spiffing up, this large pink elephant. And now it is at the Clean Getaway Auto Wash, still on Charlotte Pike. And the new owner of Pinky the elephant says he's planning to kind of move it around to his various car washes. And one thing we learned about the history of that elephant was that you used to be able to like rent it out for kids' birthday parties. And the new owner is a longtime resident. He remembers that. He wants to start renting out Pinky to kids' birthday parties.
Man.
So there's been some news about the elephant.
There's news. Listen, if you've got a question, give us a ring. We're going to be answering these phone calls in just a moment. 615-760-2000 is the number. Or you can drop a question in the YouTube chat, youtube.com/@WPLN. We're streaming video. Jessica Barker writes, has a story ever stumped you? Or has a question ever been uniquely or unexpectedly difficult to answer?
Yes. Well, for one, and Curious Nashville stories don't love a deadline. Let me just say it that way. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes us a little extra time to get to the truth. Sometimes we kind of put the story on the shelf and we come back to it later. So,
I mean, I'm thinking of a story that we're going to air on this program next month. That sucker took a while.
It's been about 3 years. 3 years in the making. Not continuous 3 years in the making, but it is true. I mean, for example, one of the stories was about this space capsule, quote unquote, in Hickman County. We got this question. We were intrigued by it. We'd made a few phone calls. We eventually had a reporter go out there and look at the thing.
Did we already have a picture when we were asked the question?
I don't think we had a picture.
Yeah.
But we eventually went and took pictures. You can certainly go see that story on the website. So that one took a couple of years to get to the finish line. But to the point, has a story ever stumped you? I think, Blake, you may have even worked on this one.
Okay.
But there is a question that a lot of folks in town, including historians and folks with the real expertise, still don't really know the answer to, which is kind of why the Metro seal looks the way it looks.
Yes.
If you haven't seen the Metro seal, of course, it's on the flag. It's on the official documents. There's like a Native American character holding a skull in his hand.
Yeah.
It's a little murky how that ever actually came to be.
The answer was very unsatisfying. I mean, I think we got as far as the answer could take us, but it was almost that it might be the idea was kind of this looking at memento mori. Is that the name? Maybe Behind the Glass can help me there. But the that you're sort of contemplating life itself.
Sure, right. And I think, I mean, obviously, maybe we didn't get the final full answer, but we learned something along the way. Another one that's on my plate still on my list. We had a great question at one point about what folks in the Hillsborough area refer to as the secret sidewalk. So normally a sidewalk goes like along the street, right? So the same direction as traffic. There is a particular sidewalk. If you know it, you know it. It runs the other way. So it runs between some houses and backyards. and there's this question about why there is this sidewalk in this particular neighborhood. There's actually a similar one in Old Hickory as well. So we have, like, as far as we know, these two unusual sidewalks. I have some hunches, but I have not yet totally figured out why. So hopefully I'll come back and get that one.
Wow. Well, before we go to a break, let's go ahead and go to the phones, because the phones are coming in hot and heavy at 615-760-2000 to ask your question. First on, I think the name is Mal. You're on Curious Nashville, I guess is what you're on. What's your question?
Hey, how are you doing? I just have a question. I grew up in Ireland, but I moved over to Nashville. And growing up and going to school here, I noticed on the side of the highway there was a Confederate statue, the Nathan Bedford Forrest statue, I believe. And after it was removed, I was curious about what happened to it. What happened to the statue itself? Where did it go?
Wow, great question. You know what? First off, I love this question because it's tied into the news, and it's tied into news that we all were part of, that we all covered, that we all saw. High visibility, a lot of controversy. But I don't know, off the top of my head, I do not know where the physical statue went.
Well, I remember the family being taken. The guy, real eccentric guy who owns the bit of property, or owned the bit of property where that statue was. I interviewed him myself. I don't know if it was for Curious Nashville or for something else, but it was certainly that statue took a lot of flack over the years, including like people shooting at it and trying to tie it to the train that would come past to get it torn down. They did end up taking it down. I believe it was after his passing. Mm-hmm. But I don't know that they disclosed where it was going, and I don't know that we have an answer. So
great question,
Val. That's a good question, and we
put it on the list.
We're writing it down right now, Mal. So thanks for that. We've got more calls coming in. If you want to join them, the number is 615-760-2000. We do need to take one more break. When we come back, we're just taking your phone calls wall to wall. 615-760-2000. We'll get to as many as we can. We might be able to answer some questions on the spot, or we'll have to get back to you. But for those of you who don't, we'll enter you in a consideration for future episodes. So don't go easy on us. WPLN's newsroom has some serious sleuths ready to spin a tale for you. 615-760-2000 to share your questions. Stay with us. This is Curious Nashville.
I think giving to WPLN is important because it's important to support the things that you love and value. I give to my family gives to me. They support me, they value me, and I value them. I value WPLN, and I want it to stay around for my kids and their kids. And I think to do that, we all have to give just a little bit to make that happen. I'm Zach, and I'm a member of 90.3 WPLN News.
Thank you, Zach. I'm Rose Gilbert. I'm here in the studio with my colleague, Trisha. How are you, Trisha?
Hey there, Rose. So fun to be here.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you, Zach. We rely on the people who came before us to have made this service possible and kept it going. And now, we're taking up this mantle and keeping it going into the future. And we've heard a lot from folks like you at home. Right in that vein, we heard from Amanda in Nashville, who gave in memory of her mother, who she says taught her to value NPR and is the reason she listens today. Thank you so much, Amanda, and thank you to you both. That's such a lovely way to honor your mother's memory. And again, I want to thank your mom for being there for us and helping us get started. And thank you again for you to keeping us going into the future. We rely on our donors to keep this service available to everybody, including the people who don't give, like kids, notoriously.
Right.
Deadbeats in the backseat.
As a mom of 7 with all 7 of them in the back of my car for years, I also grew up as a backseat listener. And it's that generational connection, giving in honor of your parents, giving in so that your children can continue to enjoy all of the pleasure that we all derive from just the programming on Nashville Public Radio and the sense of connection that we have as fellow Nashvillians. That's one of the reasons that I also became a Producer Circle member years ago. I give at that $100 a month level so that I know that my station has a steady stream of revenue. And that's what we're asking you all to do, is help us during this fall fundraising sprint. We're only on air till 9:06 tomorrow morning with this. We need you to come in. If you'd like to join us at the $100 a month level, we would love to see you over here in the Producer Circle. Come on in. The water's fine. Tell them a little bit about what you can get at the Producer Circle level, Rose.
So when you're at the Producer Circle level, you're supporting us at a higher level. You get access to exclusive Producer Circles events, monthly Producer Circles email updates. You get the first bite at the apple for special ticket offers and priority seating to special events and behind-the-scene access at public radio studios.
Yes.
When asked, we always take our SVP, but we do love showing our wonderful Producer Circle members around and giving you a look at what goes on here and how the programming you rely on gets to air.
Yes, and if you come in at that $100 a month level, you also get a pick of any of our amazing thank you gifts. Have we even told you guys about this new logo that we have right now? The logo with Nashville Public Radio here for good. It is amazing. You need to pop over to our website, WPLN.org, as you're making your gift to see this amazing new logo. It's got the outline of the state of Tennessee. It's got this old-timey, cool, kind of retro radio tower, and it says Nashville Public Radio here for good, because that's what we are, and that's what we hope to be and will be with your support.
Absolutely. We hope to be a force for good, and we hope to be around for a long time and a good time. So to make that possible, go to WPLN.org to make your gift, or if you want to talk to a person, give us a call at 615-760-2010. Can't do it without you guys. And like Tricia said, we're only on the air till tomorrow morning. So there is limited time for us to hear from you. But, we're here. The phones are manned. And get into the company. If you haven't had your name called or your town called, get on it, y'all. The time is now. While I'm in your ear, WPLN.org, 615-760-2010.
Funding for This Is Nashville comes from you, our listeners. And The Greenhouse, a plant-filled oasis in Green Hills, working to make the holiday season less stressful by offering catering and venue rental for family and business holiday parties. Details at greenhousenash.com. And Community Foundation of Middle Tennessee, working to help donors make more possible through the power of community giving. More at cfmt.org. Join us for This Is Nashville, Monday through Thursday from noon till 1, and evenings from 7 till 8. This Is Nashville is made possible by Music City Prep Clinic.
I'm Blake Farmer, and this is Curious Nashville. Well, we've been whetting your appetite with reminders of where we've been over nearly 10 years of Curious Nashville. It's a user-generated project. The better the question, the better the tale. Some of our favorite episodes have even included the asker of that question. Coming along for some of the reporting, Curious Nashville host Tony Gonzalez, our news director here at WPLN, is here to take questions live on the air, and we've got a lot of calls to get through. Join us on the air. We're going to be quick if we can, 615-760-2000, or drop a question at youtube.com/@WPLN, just in the chat there where we're streaming video. All right, let's go to the phones. Mike in Nolensville, you've been waiting patiently. What's your question?
Hey, how you doing? Give generously, people.
Well, thank you.
Kind of nervous, sorry. I was given a book called The Legend of Prince Madoc, and in that, the author claims that about 1,000 years ago, a Welsh prince made 2 trips to North America, and on his second one, he came up through the river system, up through Alabama into Tennessee and Kentucky, and the author says that the Old Stone Fort State Park down in Manchester was actually built by this Welsh prince and his crew, and that there is a rune stone, I guess you would call it, a carved stone from that wall 1,000 years ago, supposedly in the Tennessee State Museum. And I wondered if anyone could shed any light on that.
Oh man, you've got our eyebrows
Wow.
raised up in here.
I was at Old Stone Park 2 fall breaks ago. I mean, that
I
doesn't
was there not too long ago myself.
that
and
doesn't jive with the official story down there.
Yeah.
I'm incredibly intrigued.
And
but
you're
I don't
saying
know.
what's the book called?
Yeah.
Just so we got that written down.
It's called The Legend of Prince Madoc and
Okay.
the White Indians by Dana Olson. One of the gentlemen down that works at the park knew of this legend.
Okay.
Because as you say, there's nothing mentioned. I was given it by my mother-in-law who lives up west of Louisville because that's where he eventually stopped traveling, built a town at the falls of the Falls of the Ohio there at Louisville, and then was eventually massacred by the indigenous folks. Claim there, and they say that they found helmets and swords and shields of that era up there in that area in the Ohio River around Louisville. But it's an interesting book. I just need to get down to the museum and see if they can shed any light. I didn't know if you all knew.
Well, Mike, maybe we're coming with you, so hold on for a second. But thank you for the question, Mike in Nolensville. Really appreciate it. We'll keep moving down the list here. If you want to ask your question, the number is 615-760-2000. Lucas, you're on Curious Nashville. What's your question?
Well, hi. Expatriate, now in the state of Michigan, and I've got a revived question from years ago when I heard the show was coming back.
Oh, love that. What's up?
So when we lived in Nashville the previous 7 years to our move, we lived next to TSU and near Clifton Avenue.
Okay.
And I had heard from neighbors, especially the older ones that had been there a long time, that there was a community called Clifton, not to be confused with the city, the town.
Yeah, Clifton,
way
Tennessee.
downriver.
Okay.
And that it may have been the location of less savory activities such as slave trade arrivals off of the river that people didn't want to have to look at downtown. And I don't know what the truth to any of this is, but it seems like there's a lack of placemaking in that little no man's land between the very pricey gentrified nations and the campus of Tennessee State. And maybe there's a story to tell and some history to give that place a sense of place.
Wow, yeah, that would be. Tony?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know off the top of my head much more about this, but I'm already thinking about some of the local historians who we might put in a call to.
Yeah.
It also makes me think, and you mentioned placemaking or just acknowledgement of this history. There has been a concerted effort in recent years to really overhaul the types of historical markers that are all across Nashville. So it wouldn't be out of the question that if there were research and a movement on, that there could be some acknowledgement.
First call to Lerotha Williams, I think, right?
That's on my mind.
Lucas, thanks for the question all the way from Grand Rapids. Really appreciate it. Let's take another call. Dan, you're on Curious Nashville. What's your question?
Hi, thank you. We're longtime members also.
Well, thank you.
My question was about the middle school named J.T. Moore.
I know of it.
And somebody, I think my older son, raised the question of how it was named, why it was named for him. When we looked it up, it seems like he was an author, journalist. He was an archivist for the state government, but also an ardent racist. This is around the turn of the century, early 1900s. Big proponent of the KKK and openly in favor of lynching. And so I wanted to understand more about how the school came to be named for him and what, if anything, is being done to consider updating that given the social progress over the last 100 years or so since his time.
That is quite a question. Well, and we get a lot of place name questions. Some of them end up with a very simple answer. This one sounds rather layered, nuanced. I don't know that history. I mean, that's already a lot of information. I do have some ideas of where we could go to start learning more. I believe there was a movement in the last few years to try to get the school renamed. I also know just from various city and state agencies that renaming places, I mean, there are rules and laws about that too. So That's an intriguing one.
JT Moore, we'll look into it. John Trotwood Moore. Dan, thanks for the call. We'll take another call here, but if you'd like to ask your Curious Nashville question live on air, we'd love to hear from you. The number is 615-760-2000. We still have a few minutes left. Christina from Nashville, you're on Curious Nashville. What's your question?
Well, I always have a question about that merry-go-round, but today's question is about that statue that used to be on the top of Union Station. It was Mercury, and it was there until the renovation, and until Union Station became a hotel, and it came down, was never put back up. We have a very primitive replica, I think, up there, but the original, I'm wondering where it could be.
The original. Well, good to hear from you again, and I forgot, you called with the mayor on Red Groom's Carousel. Am I wrong about that?
I want that back somewhere.
Sounds like there might be news. But you're saying there was an original that was replaced with a replica, but you think the original still exists somewhere of the statue of Mercury that was on top of Union Station?
Yes.
Well, I mean, that seems like there's probably an answer out there somewhere.
Put it on the list.
Well, thank you so much for the question. We've got a few more minutes left if you want to join and ask your question on the air, 615-760-2000. We're just going to keep them coming. Matthew in Nashville, you're on Curious Nashville. What's the question?
Hey, good afternoon. This is about a record album.
Okay.
About 25 years ago, I picked this up at a church sale or yard sale. It is a program of Christmas music performed by the First American National Bank Christmas Choir of Nashville, Tennessee.
The bank
and
choir.
The picture on the cover shows the choir singing in the lobby of the bank with the conductor of the choir standing in front of the counter with the withdrawal slips and the deposit slips. It's just adorable. So I'm wondering, what's the story behind it? How long this choir existed? When did they decide to make a record? And any other information?
Well, Music City's own bank choir, the history of it, sounds like a story we need to hear.
Yeah, we've got some music journalists who would probably be eating that one up.
All right.
It makes me wonder about the genre. Was this a genre?
Yeah.
Christmas, locally made Christmas albums?
Who knows? Time will tell. Very much appreciate the call about the bank choir. We'll maybe get back to you. Larry calling in on Curious Nashville. I don't know. Maybe you have an answer. Is this follow up on JT Moore? Larry, go ahead.
I have a bad answer.
Oh, okay.
I appreciate the earlier call pointing out what a racist and supporter of lynching John Trotwood Moore was. When I discovered that 4 or 5 years ago, I called the school board and said, let's do something to get the name changed. I could not get my representative on the school board to return my calls or even talk about it. I want to urge all your listeners, call your representative on the National School Board. Tell them we've got to get something done about racists like J.T. Moore and get their name out of our school system.
Well, Larry, appreciate the call. We'll do some of our own homework as well. So thank you for following up on that. And last question. I hope you're ready for this. I hope I'm not catching you off guard here. But Bob in Bellevue, what's your question? Oh, excuse me. Well, all right, Bob in Bellevue came to you a little too quickly. But what's your question?
When I was about 16 or 17, I followed some older friends to a bar on down what I think was near Demumbrian's Cave.
Okay. Demumbrian, as Timothy Demumbrian, one of the earliest settlers here.
Correct. And we heard in the bar that there was a cave under the bar. And we went out the door and just down through the woods and found our way into this cave, and with cigarette lighters walked the length of the cave and came out on the Cumberland River. And so in my mind, I think it was the Demumbrian's Cave, but I've never known if there was really a a bar above Demonbreun's cave. Ever.
All right. Well, Tony, is there a short answer?
I think that probably was the cave.
Yeah, the cave is there. You might have been right in it. That's all the time that we have for Curious Nashville, but boy, we've got a lot of questions to work on and more questions coming. You can submit yours at WPLN.org/curious. Tony will be back each month with a special episode, an answer, and taking more questions just like this. It's been a great time, a great hour. Thank you for listening. If you missed yesterday's show, we had the host of the Nash Villager podcast on, Nina Cardona, shared how she brings the past to life by connecting it with the present each day. Worth a listen in your podcast feed or thisisnashville.org. Today's episode produced by Tony Gonzalez and Cynthia Abrams, directed by Tasha A.F. Limley, Josh Deepen on the phones, board operator Liv Lombardi. The masterminds behind that theme music are Larange and Nabir Blade. This is Nashville. I'm Blake Farmer. Go in peace.
I'm a recent transplant to Nashville, and it's been really helpful to discover the city. Like, I love the things around Nashville politics and the mayor's office, and I love the climate reports, and I love the education reports. So I appreciate that, because it's been difficult to try and figure out kind of what to do and where to go and what are the great things about this city. I'm Mary Kay, and I'm a member of 90.3 WPLN News.
Wow, Mary Kay, we couldn't be right on the same page with you. We also love that you value our coverage of Nashville politics and our education reporting. My name is Tricia Drake. I'm here in the studio with my colleague Rose Gilbert. We are in the second day and last full day of our fall fundraising sprint. We heard Mary Kay say how much she loved our coverage of Nashville politics, our education reporting. If you also value the in-depth coverage by our award-winning journalists, you can give now during this last full day at WPLN.org or give us a shout, 615-760-2010.
Absolutely. And what's wonderful about those specific topics is that we have specific reporters assigned to those subjects. And partially that's because of something listeners asked for. People asked for an environmental reporter. We got an environmental reporter, one of the only ones in the region. We got an education reporter. We got both a politics reporter at the state level and a metro reporter to cover the goings-on of the city specifically. And that's the kind of stuff you just don't get without local media, right? But also I want to say, guys, it's chilly out there. Fall is finally here.
You know what it's perfect weather for?
Our brand new sweatshirt.
Absolutely.
Now, I don't know about you. As someone, I've worked here for a while, I've become kind of a collector of our various paraphernalia. So I do already have a WPLN sweatshirt, but I might have to put in for another one.
Yeah. Can you ever have too many?
Exactly.
No.
We have a new design out as part of our Here for Good campaign, because we're here for a good time. We're here for a long time. We've got this wonderful new logo. It's the outline of the state of Tennessee with a radio tower broadcasting in the middle, broadcasting the programming that you support. And when you go online at WPLN.org and make your gift at $30 a month, you can pick out this wonderful sweatshirt. It's cozy, it's comfortable, it's chic, it's black, goes with everything, and it's just right for this newly minted gray fall weather.
Absolutely. And you know what? Who is also getting a brand new Here for Good sweatshirt? George in Ashland City, Martin in Brentwood, Steve in Madison. All of them are getting a brand new Here for Good sweatshirt. But if $30 a month is maybe not your speed, let's tell you a little bit about what you can get at the $15 a month level. If you're a longtime listener, or if you know how much we love socks around here, then let me tell you, you're going to be thrilled to hear that we have a brand new pair of WPLN Nashville Public Radio socks designed in-house, so you know they're going to be awesome. And you can get that at $15 a month. What a bargain. I mean, Rose, how fast are you going to go donate $15 a month to get new socks.
Like I said, Trisha, I'm a collector. The call is irreversible. It is like a siren song. And also perfect for fall when you've got boots because they do come up nice and high. They are very cozy. So all of those gifts and more can be yours, as well as the undying sense of satisfaction from knowing that you support local programming that supports your community when you go to WPLN.org and make the gift that's right for you. Or if you want to talk to a real life person, you can always give us a call at 615-760-2010, which brings me to my next subject, which is that we've had a wonderful glut of new members coming in this hour.
This board is just going bananas, you guys.
Lighting up. You guys are truly warming our hearts here today. And we have a new member match on from our very generous board. So if you've been on the fence about thinking, maybe I give now and then, or maybe I listen, this is my call to you to make the jump, become a member, and provide that really sustainable support that'll help us be here for good.
Absolutely. You could be like Timothy in Fairview. You can be like George in Ashland City. We've got Martin in Brentwood. We've got Derek in Madison. All of these brand new members who are going to have their very generous donations matched by our board. So don't miss out on the fun. You've got a chance to get any of these brand new amazing thank you gifts. All of your gifts will be doubled right now by our generous board. You can make your gift in any amount. Really, no gift is too small or too big at WPLN.org or give us a call, 760-2010.
But you got to do it now, folks. We're only here till tomorrow morning, so do it now while we're talking to you. And thank you so much for your
Funding for This Is Nashville comes from you, our listeners. Davidson County Clerk's Office with a reminder that most vehicle registrations and renewals can be done online, by mail, or at one of their area kiosk locations, including Green Hills, Plaza Mariachi, Southeast Branch Library, Bellevue Library, Donaldson Library, Bordeaux Library, Farmers Market, East Branch Library, South Police Precinct, Madison, and the newest 24/7 location outside the Hermitage Police Precinct. More at countyclerk.nashville.gov.
Does WPLN have a number one fan? Is it you? Are you the one who heard all of the 1,100 some odd local stories that we broadcast the past year? Tip of the cap. I'm News Director Tony Gonzalez, and I know that doing this much local reporting depends on you deciding to donate. Do it for the best story you heard this year, or for all 1,100. WPLN is here for good. Donate at WPLN.org/give.
This is 90.3 WPLN,
Nashville Public Radio,
and 91.7 WHRS Cookeville.
Nashville's home